won't never spend my Bitcoin right now until it raises to where I think it needs to be. Remember that number, 100 million. I firmly bet my life that not in my lifetime, but maybe in my children's lifetime, that one Bitcoin today that's worth 40,000 is gonna be worth about $100 million. So what do? I buy and stack for my kids. You can stack for your future.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Ahead of the Crypto Curve, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires, one family at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time, and that means you. I am your host, Najah Roberts, aka Young Harriet, and what it is my mission in life to lead my people out of financial slavery. And I like that song that just came on. I had a big smile on my face because I have not heard that in a very, very, very long time. So with that being said, today we are still observing Women's Her Story Month. And the quote that I found today that says, I believe in being strong when everything seems to be going wrong. I believe that happy girls are the prettiest girls. I believe that tomorrow is another day, and I believe in miracles. And that is a really good quote specifically for me today, because there are so many things going on in my space. Not necessarily that they're going wrong, because we don't say that anything is going wrong. We just look at the challenges that we need to overcome, and we overcome them. And so I just really am thankful for that. And I definitely believe in miracles. And I have a surprise for you all today. We have a miracle that will be coming to join me today to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and seniors. We're going to have a special guest in the house today, so stay tuned. Her name is Miss Johnny. And Miss Johnny's going to come in today. I have a Satoshi Seniors Club that we don't really talk about much because we were waiting to bring it out. But we do have a Satoshi Seniors Club, and there's some seniors that I would like to showcase that we're working with specifically. And she's one of them, and she is coming in live in the studio. So you all stay tuned for that. She will be coming up. And in observance of the Women's Her Story Month, we're always talking about a woman in blockchain this month. And this young lady that I decided to showcase today is from the Latino community. Her name is Crypto Wendy O. And she and I started roughly about the same time in cryptocurrency on the side where we were actually understanding what was going on. But you know, Wendy is doing some enormous things in this cryptocurrency space. She's holding a lot of meetups and different things, and you'll see her around. She does some market updates. She's really big on social media because she likes, she does all those TikToks and just different things like that. But she is Latino, came from a very humble upbringing. And really, found her way through her teenage years and grew up, and she's still very young in my opinion. She grew up and, did a whole lot of different things in the healthcare space, and she found herself in cryptocurrency. And so she just gave me something really quickly to read about her, and to really say what she wants to say. And hopefully what she's traveling, and what we do know is one of these days we'll be able to hear from her and what she thinks Bitcoin actually offers to the Latino community. But with that being said, she said, I became interested in cryptocurrency and blockchain in 2017. I quickly realized that blockchain technology had the potential to revolutionize, improve the quality of life for all classes, and transform the traditional financial industry. Prior to entering cryptocurrency, I worked in healthcare at the largest infectious disease company in the world. My role consisted of working with newly diagnosed and existing patients to coordinate their care. She then found cryptocurrency, and since the summer of 2018, she's been involved in this space full time. And She has been utilizing her business and marketing skills to start things like the O Show, and really to just document her journey as a Latino in this space and as a woman. And it makes her happy to know that she's brought so many people along with her and became a part of this new and emerging industry. Wendy O is actually one of the largest female voices in the space. And I'm saying this because I want to make sure that you all understand. I myself came out of traditional financial services right in 2017. Wendy came out of the healthcare space in 2017, and we both are doing our part in different spaces to really educate our community. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not too late. You can do whatever you want to do. You can in this space. There is so much room for you to do whatever you'd like to do. And I would like to use Wendy to say to you today, as well as myself, that if you're listening and you're thinking about getting yourself involved in this cryptocurrency space, you absolutely can. All you have to do is just start studying and really paying attention and seeing what is missing in this space. And what we both did was all about finding out what was missing for our specific niche and our specific community. And there is still room for you. So if you're interested, please, ladies and gentlemen, just to look at the space. We absolutely need you. This is a space where we all need to be working together, not us all rowing our individual boats, but us all getting together, because we are stronger together than we are apart. And when we come forward, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some things that are happening in the news. I am going to read to you a statement that is now on the Chase website. And I got a whole lot to say about Chase and the cryptocurrency space. And I'm going to give you a little bit of back history. And then I'm going to read their statement, which almost knocked me off my chair today. But with that being said, when we come forward, we're going to talk about Chase Bank. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. We are back. And as I always say, we are here to learn about things that have to do with your crypto life and your life in general. So there's been something that has been bothering me since Dr. Rosie Milligan called me this morning. And I just got to touch on it. It has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, but it kind of sort of does. So for all of those of you who, we're rocking real hard with our HBCUs, getting our children to these HBCUs. We're talking to their parents about how to save in this new form of digital currency called Bitcoin, so that they can have what they need to get their children through college in the next 5 to 10 years without having to take out loans. That being said, I pay very, very close attention to what's going on at our HBCUs. And Dr. Rosie Milligan called me this morning and asked me, had I heard the news that our Hampton University was giving free tuition, room and board to the folks that are having to leave their country because of the war. And not that I don't think I'm very, very empathetic of, what folks are going through. But what I do want to remind Hampton University and every other HBCU that's out there is that we have tons and thousands of our children that need free tuition, free room and board, so that they can get the education that they need. And it should not just be the people from Ukraine that get those free rooms and free board and free tuition. So I just want to put that out there to those alumni at Hampton. Reach out and tell them folks we got thousands of children, names and numbers that we can call that will love that free education out there. So I want to say that. And to all the rest of you parents and grandparents and alumni that are listening, we have a way through Bitcoin to ensure that when your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren get to college, you won't have to worry about them taking out these absorbent student loans, because we got a plan in place to make sure that some of those things are taken care of. And I will tell you firsthand that it worked for my child, for my daughter, that was at Grand Canyon University this last 3 or 4 years. She just graduated the year before last, but it's a great feeling to not have to have a child come out of college with a bunch of debt. So I just wanted to say that. So reach out and let Hampton know whether you approve or disapprove, but also let them know that our children need to be afforded that same opportunity, because we've been here and we've been trying to get them to those sorts of universities. So with that, we're going to get into our crypto news. I just had to say that today. It was just weighing in heavy on my heart. Well, with the cryptocurrency news as it relates to Chase Bank. So some of you may or may not know Mr. Jamie Dimon. Mr. Jamie Dimon, CEO and president of Chase, told his employees in 2017, and I remember this like it was yesterday, that if he caught any of his employees doing Bitcoin, he was going to fire them. Not only was he going to fire them, but he gave strict instructions that anyone who they found or could find that was doing Bitcoin transactions, meaning taking their money out of Chase Bank to buy cryptocurrency, they were closing their accounts. Ladies and gentlemen, till today, and I'm going to get out of here today after I read this, because this has just come about. I'm going to try Chase out to see what they actually do. But what I do know, because we do have a over-the-counter exchange where people buy Bitcoin from us, regular everyday people, including business owners, cannot open an account and let them know that you are doing cryptocurrency, because they either will not open your account, or if they find out about it, they will close your account. And to my knowledge, yesterday was exactly the same, but we're going to find out, because I'm going to try Chase out on this. But what happened is Jamie Dimon went from telling his employees that he was going to fire them if they got involved in cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin specifically, to writing the Bitcoin Bible in 2018, which is about 5 months later. He wrote the Bitcoin Bible. But from 2018 till now, absolutely nothing has happened for them to change their policies as it relates to allowing businesses that are in Bitcoin or are dealing with cryptocurrency to open accounts, or hasn't changed that they would shut your account down if they found out that you were buying Bitcoin from any of the major platforms. So we're going to see if this changes, because Chase Bank just put in their cryptocurrency policy, and it states, J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon has historically flip-flopped on his positioning with respect to cryptocurrency since it broke into the mainstream in 2017. However, his most recent views are more bullish towards the digital asset space, which ultimately means Chase bank account holders can freely transact with regulated cryptocurrency exchanges. Ladies and gentlemen, back in 2017, there were some issues with Chase Bank freezing clients' funds if they were caught transferring U.S. dollars into some cryptocurrency exchanges. That has since cleared up, and ultimately, we are now allowing our clients to participate in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who think that this is fly by night and this is a scam, please know that your local bank, Chase, is encouraging you to purchase cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm using my sarcastic voice. They have even teamed up with eToro. Now, why is this important to you, and why should you not purchase your Bitcoin? I won't say don't purchase your Bitcoin on eToro, because you absolutely can. But in my opinion, Chase has positioned themselves to get a little bit of kickback every time you buy Bitcoin. One of the things I have been telling you all is the reason that these banks are not offering Bitcoin is because they don't get any money when you go and buy your Bitcoin peer-to-peer on one of these exchanges. So how smart is it for Chase to position themselves to be able to now work with eToro, which means Not necessarily that eToro is going to show you upfront what you're paying for Bitcoin, but if they have to give a little bit of a pinch of every transaction back to Chase, best believe they're going to get their money, and it's going to come to you, and it's going to come and be passed on to you either in the price of your Bitcoin, because remember I said Bitcoin can be whatever the exchange thinks that they can get from you. And if they have customers from Chase that are readily coming in, they know that those customers trust Chase and therefore trust eToro, and they're going to pay whatever eToro is charging. So be very careful when you look at the fee structure for eToro, because they may even say you get free trading, but you're going to pay for it in the cost of your Bitcoin, or you're going to pay for it in the cost of the fees. Because when you trade your Bitcoin from Chase to eToro, and maybe you get smart enough to move it into your own personal wallet, there's a small fee that has to be paid, and that is when eToro can tack on that price to then give Chase their little cut, and eToro gets their cut. So just be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, as we look at these different platforms and things start to open up. And I cannot say to you how absolutely elated I am that I can go and call Chase and see if they open up my business bank account, because they would not. And almost, I don't even want to tell you what happened when I went in Chase the last time, but we're going to try them out, and I'm going to report back to you all and let you all know what is going on with that, ladies and gentlemen. So that is young Harriet shining some light on the Chase eToro partnership. And again, I'm not saying that eToro is a bad platform. I'm just saying that, Chase has a motive, and that is to make sure that they're getting a little something off of this space, as are all the banks. What I am interested in seeing is if Chase is going to now open up so that you can hold your Bitcoin on their platform, which means they are the custodians of your Bitcoin. And remember, not your keys, not your coin. Even if you buy it on eToro, ladies and gentlemen, not your keys, not your coin. It is not in your private wallet on your cell phone or one of those ledger devices, so you do not have full control. eToro will, and I believe eToro has a big trading platform where they allow you to mirror people. There's just things that I want to caution you about, just caution you in this space. And so also knowing with eToro having this mirroring platform, you really want to be careful because everybody does not know what they're doing. And there's a lot of different algorithms and things that are in place to help it look like some of these folks are winning with these trades, and they may be not winning. And so we want to make sure that our community is safe. We play it safe. The name of this game, in my opinion, again, I'm not providing any financial advice. I am no longer a financial advisor on purpose. But at this point, because Bitcoin has not reached its full potential, do not sell it. Do not cash out of it. Hold on to it and do your very, very best if you can. Now, I understand things happen, and things happen all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, as we see, the price of Bitcoin is beginning to, again, find its place, and it is beginning to do some phenomenal things as mass adoption becomes more open to businesses, to governments, just all sorts of different things. So please play that safe. And please, please, please call and ask us questions before you do anything. So I am also going to say to you, if you have anything that you want to share, our phone lines are open. This is our Friends and Family Friday because we got our fabulous friend here. Friend of Bitcoin is in the house. She just snuck in here, and we're going to learn about her, one of our Satoshi seniors. And we're going to make sure that you understand who she is and what she does. But I want to give you the number to the phone line in case you want to ring in. That number is 800-920-1580. Again, that number is 800-920-1580. 1580. And I also just want to make sure that folks are really understanding in this cryptocurrency space. Again, Bitcoin is absolutely volatile. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it stays down, it trades sideways, it stays down. We have to understand in this space, it is just like any other asset class. And I keep saying asset class because I want us to kind of conceptually understand what I'm saying, but they don't consider it an asset. They consider it property. And I always like to say to people, just so they can understand this thing called Satoshis, there are 100 pennies in a dollar. There are 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. So when people call me and say, you know what, I lost money in that Bitcoin thing. And I say, well, what happened? Well, the price of it went down. So you didn't actually lose anything. It just decreased in value. And so the reason why it's important that you understand this analogy that I'm about to give you is so that you understand you only lose in Bitcoin when you sell it and no longer have those Satoshis in your wallet. So it is equivalent to you going right here to Inglewood and buying a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Let's say you bought it for $100,000, just to keep numbers simple. And everything in the area starts to improve. The Ram Stadium comes in, the Clipper Stadium comes in, Starbucks comes in, and eventually Whole Foods comes in. You have done nothing to your house, but now the value has risen to $200,000. You still have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. The value has changed, but what the structure of the house is and how you bought it has not. So that's what happens with the Satoshi. The value raises. Whatever Satoshis you buy, you still have that number of Satoshis. Nothing has changed except the value has gone up. On the flip side, you buy that same house, 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Inglewood, and there starts to be all kinds of mayhem and shooting and people littering in the streets, and the price of the value of the property around it starts to depreciate, and and now you bought it for $100,000, but you can only sell it for $75,000. That means you still have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, the same amount of Satoshis, but the value has just lessened. So some people are of the mindset that they think that when they're buying Satoshis, somehow those Satoshis increase in the number of Satoshis you have. It does not. It just increases in value or decreases in value. So with that, I hope that helps some of you that have had some questions as to thinking that Bitcoin has some sort of split and you get additional Satoshis. It does not work like that. We can talk about some of the spinoffs of Bitcoin and what they are. And I want to let our listeners know that I absolutely see you on hold. Comment about Hampton U. Mark, when we come forward, we will get your question, and then we're going to meet this fabulous lady that is here, friend of Bitcoin, Satoshi Senior, Miss Johnny. When we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. So we have a gentleman that has been on hold. We actually have two. So Corey, I see you as well. But Mark has been holding, and Mark wanted to share something. Welcome, Mark, to our Friends and Family Friday. What's going on with you, sir?
Thank you so much, Najah. Appreciate you having me on, and love your show. I just wanted to kind of make a comment. Hampton University is offering free room and board tuition and all that for Ukrainian students who are displaced. But this isn't the first time they've done that. They did the same thing for Hurricane Katrina victims. So, I think it's important to differentiate the fact that, one, HBCUs are not just for black folks. HBCUs are extremely competitive educational institutions, and we serve everybody. If whoever needs an education, they should consider going to a HBCU. So, the fact that Hampton is sort of out front doing this, I think is a good thing, because maybe other schools, both HBCUs and PWIs, will step up and provide, relief, this type of relief to victims who are suffering. So it's obviously we always have people in need in our communities, and that doesn't go unnoticed. But in extreme situations like Katrina or a war or something like what's happening right now, those are very different circumstances, and they're only doing that for a semester. So if the kids come and they want to stay, they've got to pay full boat after that. So essentially, it's like going to summer school for free, right? They're not going to get a 4-year degree from Hampton for free. So I just wanted to make that point, and I think hopefully some other schools will step up and do the same thing for other communities that are suffering.
All
But
right.
remember, most of these schools were founded on Christian values, and that requires us to help those who are in need. Period.
All right, and I cannot disagree. I definitely, to each his own. I just see that there's so many, because I sit in this space, I see so many of our children that need to have a summer away from some of the situations that they're in right here in our communities, in our hoods across this United States. In fact, the last time I visited Howard University, they were outside in tents, my brother. So I did.
Oh, trust me, I know my daughter's there right now.
Yeah.
And so I know, I get it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they're not. Our folks aren't being bombed either. So imagine your kids that you see right now are guarding themselves from hell bombs and all that other nonsense that they're facing. That's a different reality, and I think it deserves something a little extra.
Okay, and I get you. And
But
again,
that's
and I appreciate you. I definitely am not arguing with that point at all, because you're absolutely correct. But I think that our bombs in our community come in a different form, and so they're not physical. They're not the physical bombs that are dropping, but there are so many things that are happening inside of our communities that are bombish, but they're just not those actual atomic bombs or nuclear bombs and all those other things. But again, I really, really appreciate you coming on. And anytime you want to talk, let's do that. And looking forward to chopping it up with you, my brother. Thank you again for calling in.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Najah. God bless.
God bless you too. All right, next we have Corey. Corey, welcome.
Hello, Najah. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you too.
Thanks for taking my call. So I have two questions. One is with regards to different coins. I wanted to get your take on Akon's coin, Acoin, and just to get your take on it. I know that you emphasize the importance of Bitcoin, and I just wanted to get your take on Acoin at this point, based on what you know, and then I have a follow-up question.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the let Harriet shine some light on that for you. So, for about a year and a half, my brother, I reached out to Akon's camp to find out about the coin, what it was supposed to do, the actual tokenomics behind the coin, who was involved in the coin. And I ultimately decided for me, and this may not be what it is right now, because I haven't reached out probably in 2021, 2022, I have not reached out. But what I could find, I actually just made up a decision in my mind that he was building this smart city, but this coin was actually not even designed by him. But there were other powers that were putting this coin into place for us to utilize. But the tokenomics and the things that I were finding were of those individuals that were around him, and not necessarily something that he wanted to do for the African continent. It was something that they wanted us to participate in. So I kind of pushed back, because there were several teams that I talked to, and really, and I know that, movie stars and different actors and things like that, they need a team around them to put it together. But when I really found out that the best interest of Africa was not ingrained in what they were doing initially, I just kind of backed up from it. So that's just my take. Again, some things may have changed. Akon may now be more active in his project, but when I was checking into it, he was not active at all in that project.
Understood. Okay. Thank you for your feedback on that. And secondly, I cannot wait to enroll my kids in the Crypto Kids Camp, and I just want to get some info on when the next one is so that I can get them signed up for it.
Yes, so our next Crypto Kids Camp is April 11th through the 15th. The children will be, for those children that are here in the direct Los Angeles area, the drop-off point will be in Inglewood, and we will be journeying down to San Pedro, to the Port of Los Angeles. The Port of Los Angeles has afforded us to have a large space for our children's camp, and so we'll be transporting them down. For those who need the transportation, for those who don't, their parents can bring them down to San Pedro, and then on the 15th, our graduation will be obviously there in San Pedro. But it's a great camp. We are planning. We're excited. We're happy to be doing another one. We're happy that COVID restrictions are over. So this is going to be a great camp. Your children are going to meet people from Amazon and several different entities that are coming out to teach blockchain technology. I'm teaching evolution of money, which is cryptocurrency. Just so many things that are happening. So you can actually go to cryptokidscamp.org and sign your child up now. So that's cryptokidscamp.org, and that's for children ages 5 through 17.
5 through 17. I so look forward to it. And lastly, I just wanted to give you, Dap, when I was coming up watching professional wrestling on TV, I always remember hearing that theme music from $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. So it took me back a little bit when you played that today. And so good looking out, Najah. I appreciate all that you do.
Appreciate you as well. And that's these fabulous engineers here at KBLA. So he slammed that one today. So that was awesome. So thank you for that. All right.
God bless you, sister.
God bless you too. And thank you, both of the callers. And when we come forward, ladies and gentlemen, the next voices you will hear will be mine and that of this fabulous Satoshi Senior, and her name is Johnny Green. So when we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. So we have one of our Satoshi Seniors here. Those of you that have heard me speak, when I told you I got into financial services originally was because I got tired of hearing my aunties and my church members saying they were on a fixed income. And I wanted to do something about it. So I got in that traditional space, now in the cryptocurrency space. And I met this young lady a couple of years ago. And one of the things that she said to me was, honey, I'm on a fixed income. And for the first time in my life, I was able to say, and we have something that can fix that. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you all to Miss Johnny Green, a fabulous author of the book, Celebrating Me. How are you today, Miss Johnny?
I'm marvelous.
That is good. That is good. If you don't mind telling us how old you are, how old are you?
I am 75 years old.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm 40, but my body tells me at times that I am 75 with a little aches and pains.
Yes. So she is our Satoshi Senior. She is one of our success stories, I will say that, and she has done an incredible job. She said she was on a fixed income, and she said, this is what I have. And so back then, and we won't tell all her business, she decided that she was going to invest in a Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. And she did her thing, and not to say that that's what she still has or it does not, because we're not getting into her business that way. But how did you feel taking that first step, trying to learn about cryptocurrency, getting your first Bitcoin?
I should say that I'm a baby boomer, and I have always lived outside of the box. I've always been a daredevil. And so when you explained to me about how it worked, I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. And so I did. At first, I was a little nervous, but you made me comfortable with all the information that you gave me. So after I got the coin, within less than a year, my money doubled. Okay. And then as the months went on, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then I started studying Bitcoin. And I found out that Elon Musk owned a couple $1 billion in Bitcoin. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to keep going. So with all my studying, like you were saying, I'd watch the coin in value go up, and then it would drop down. And then I'd call you and I'd get nervous. I want to sell. And you kept telling me, don't sell. And that was the best thing that you could have ever said to me. Some nights I didn't really sleep there for a while because I watched all of that money just evaporate, But like you said, I still had the coin. But then as time went on, what you said came true. It just went back up and went further and further. And as I have been reading lately, within the next year to 2 years, it's going to be amazing what the value of that coin. And there's already some prediction about 2025. So I'm holding steady. I'm not nervous anymore when the price go down.
No, and absolutely. And so that's ladies and gentlemen, I mean, Miss Johnny has just been fabulous in this space. And when we come forward, we're going to find out a little bit about her book that she wrote, and you get a chance to know a little bit more about Miss Johnny Green. When we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, Miss Johnny Green, the author of Celebrating Me. Her book is entitled Embracing Who God Created Me to Be. And we know that you wrote this book during, there's just been so many phenomenal things happening for you, but you've done it since you purchased your Bitcoin, and you're a Satoshi senior. So why did you feel the need to write this book?
One of the reasons I felt the need to write it is because I did a lot of traveling during the pandemic, and before the pandemic, I wrote the book, and I was hurting because the abuse that I encountered growing up, the abuse I encountered in my first marriage and the second one, and I've realized from meeting people traveling that it wasn't just me hurting. And so I thought I need to tell my story. And in telling my story, it has helped me so much because the book is about being overweight. It's about physical abuse, mental abuse, and emotional abuse. And it's just not me telling my story about being overweight. There's 7 others in the book, which is part 2, 6 ladies and a man. And their story is similar to mine. It's about being overweight and abused. And then we get to part 3 of the book. Dr. Med Hayworth, she's a psychiatrist, and she was raped. And she's letting us know that the reason that we held on to the weight is because the stress that we had, that it placed on our inside of our body, it causes high blood pressure, all sorts of sickness. And since I wrote the book, I already knew that men's are battered just as much as, and they're abused just as much as women's are. And so I have men's now who are telling me their stories, and it's just phenomenal. And some of them are saying, I'm going to write a book. We have live on Facebook every second and fourth Wednesday, and we're getting ready to do something on this next one is going to be on, we're going to talk about our mothers. We went through a certain amount of abuse, but it's not because they meant to. It's because they could only do what they knew.
They knew. Yes, absolutely.
A lot of them they were abused themselves,
right.
So they passed that on to us.
Yes, and a lot of things that we've encountered in our childhoods actually have to do with how we spend money, how we save money.
Yes,
has a lot to do with our economic stress.
Absolutely.
And so, just having this thing called Bitcoin, which is an option.
Yes.
And it's just an option. It's a tool that we can use as a community to change some of the things that we've encountered in our lives. So I thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I want everybody to go out and look for the book, Celebrating Me, Miss Johnny Green, and it's Greene. And you can find this podcast and listen back in and get the spelling. And we want to just take a quick second to make sure that everybody is doing what Miss Johnny Green does, and that's dollar cost averaging. And what she does is she just ensures herself that she's taking advantage. Whenever you get that little extra change, every now and then, if you have a little extra change that you want to put towards some Satoshis, again, Satoshis being the smallest increment of a Bitcoin, what we want you to do is dollar cost average. I say a DCA a day keeps poverty away. It may keep the doctor away too, because you won't be so stressed, because you have something to be some backup. So with that, we're going to do that on the Black Wall Street wallet, which you all can download on your Android or your App Store. Download that Black Wall Street wallet. Get inside of there. There's a purple circle with 2 white arrows that are going both directions. When you get inside of there, all you're going to do is click on that arrow, and it's going to allow you the option to buy Bitcoin. Once you do that, ladies and gentlemen, once you are in there to buy Bitcoin, you are going to then select the one-time option. I am going to dollar cost average $6 today. So you do not need to buy the whole $41,000 Bitcoin. You can start with $6 today on the Black Wall Street wallet. I'm going to hit continue, and that is giving me Bitcoin, $6 worth of Bitcoin. 11 cents is my fee. I hit confirm, and ladies and gentlemen, I have just added to my Bitcoin wallet $6 worth of Satoshis. Again, we want you to dollar cost average and be well. With that being said, I don't want you to touch that dial because it's time to make way for the D.L. Hughley Show. And you know, I always say that D.L. is the truth. Absolutely love his show. There's a lot of good information. And I am your host, Najah Roberts, and you have been listening to Ahead of the Crypto Curve. And this is the fabulous KBLA Talk 1580, and we are apologetically progressive.